Clinton called today for what she described as an intelligence surge and said she'll be discussing the need for more foreign cooperation at the UN tonight in one-on-one meetings with heads of state from Egypt, Ukraine, and Japan. Tony.
Nancy, Donald Trump is slamming Hillary Clinton for one particular accusation she made Monday. I want to play that and then get your reaction.
We know that Donald Trump's comments have been used online for recruitment of terrorists. We also know from the former head of our counterterrorism center, Matt Olson, that the kinds of rhetoric and language that Mr. Trump has used is giving aid and comfort to our adversaries.
So, Nancy, that particular phrase, aid and comfort to extremists, does that sound like extreme rhetoric from the candidate?
Actually, she has said that and things like it numerous times before, Tony, and she's backed it up with quotes from, say, the leader of Hamas, who cited some of Trump's claims about Muslims to advocate a conflict with the West. And so this is something that Hillary Clinton has been saying for quite some time. Unclear why today both Donald Trump and his running mate Mike Pence really went after her for those comments and argued that they were out of line. It could be because she was making a case today that her campaign believes is one of her more effective arguments, which is that when it comes to a dangerous world, you want somebody in charge who knows what they're doing, who has been in the arena before, who knows the players, and who has foreign policy experience. And clearly, the case that she's making is that after nearly a decade in the Senate and after 4 years as Secretary of State, she's the one who has that experience.
So let's bring in Major Garrett, who's covering the Trump campaign and is in Washington for us. Major, as Nancy points out, aid and comfort to extremists. This is something that Hillary Clinton has said in the past, and yet today the Trump campaign is responding. What are they saying and why?
That Hillary Clinton will say anything, blame anyone to shift attention from her underlying record, which the Trump campaign argues is one that bears some responsibility, direct or indirect, for the rise of ISIS. And I think the reason, Tony, the Trump campaign jumped on this is we're now a week away from the very first debate. The weekend's incidences in Minnesota and New York and New Jersey have heightened once again sensitivity and anxiety about terrorism. The Trump campaign is not going to let this accusation from Hillary Clinton go unanswered and is also going to try to prepare the country for the kind of argumentation it expects to make in that debate a week from tonight.
Okay, so Major, let's talk about that debate 1 week away. I want to put this question to both of you, and I'll actually start with Nancy. The debates are undoubtedly going to bring up the issue of securing America. The table has already been well set for that conversation, but now with these bombings in the last 48 hours, we have a new ingredient. Nancy, how do you think that's going to change the conversation of the race?
Well, you know, this is an area where Clinton feels very comfortable. She's comfortable talking about foreign policy. She has a more specific plan to go after ISIS than Donald Trump has. On the other hand, her plan doesn't look all that different from the plan that President Obama is trying to execute right now. So she knows that she's vulnerable on this issue as well, that Donald Trump will say, well, you know, if you have such a great plan, then why have we seen the rise of ISIS directly after you were Secretary of State, and while the man who you want to succeed, whose policies you say you like, is in the Oval Office? And so she's preparing to debate on those grounds, but she's also, frankly, preparing for the unexpected, because Donald Trump is anything if not unpredictable. And I think all you need to do, Tony, is to look at her schedule to see just how seriously she is taking this first debate and the stakes attached to it. She has no public events tomorrow. She'll go to Florida on Wednesday. And then as of right now, and we don't really expect this to change, she has nothing on her schedule on Thursday, nothing on her schedule on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday in advance of that Monday debate. And this is all coming at a time when Clinton has kind of been under fire for not being out there and campaigning as aggressively as Donald Trump. So you know that it's got to be something that this campaign takes very seriously to keep her off the trail once again.
Very seriously indeed. Now, Major, do you think the events of the last 48 hours, the explosions, the bombings, the knife attack in Minnesota, do they help or hinder Donald Trump's chances of success in the debate 1 week from tonight?
Well, look, polling data indicates that most Americans understand who's responsible, who's to blame. Terrorists and those they inspire, and those who carry out acts from that inspiration. Neither Hillary Clinton nor Donald Trump is responsible or blameworthy. But what Trump wants to do is create an atmosphere where change is the central question. Are you satisfied with the security of the country? Are you satisfied with the approach of the Obama administration? Do you believe Hillary Clinton will be fundamentally different? And as Nancy indicated, and as Clinton's own words suggest, probably not dramatically different. What Trump wants to say and will say is, I will be dramatically different. I will cut off all immigration from areas of the world and countries where terrorism is a real and present problem. And then there will be this, what he calls extreme vetting of anyone who wants to come in the country, tying immigration to national security. And he will say Hillary Clinton's not prepared to do that. She doesn't even have the language down properly to identify the enemy and elevate it above a battle of narratives, which the White House described this as today. Donald Trump said again today in Fort Myers, Florida, this is an existential battle for our entire way of life. He will frame it as a big contest between one ideology, the Western world's ideology, and this radical Islamic extremism, and say immigration is the way to deal with it, plus much more aggressive military actions, and basically put the question to the American public. Are you satisfied or dissatisfied? If you want change, I'm the change agent. I may not have all of Hillary Clinton's experience. I may not be able to recite all the names of all the leaders across the world or all the meetings I've attended with them, but I'm for big change, and if that's what you want, I'm your answer. That is how Trump intends to frame this particular question.
All right, Nancy Cordes and Major Garrett, if your candidates, the ones you're covering, take a break for preparation ahead of this debate, I hope you get a break as well, but somehow I think that is not in the cards.
Trump has a full campaign schedule all the way through Friday.
Oh, good news for you, Major. Maybe we'll see you at a fair. Thank you both very much.
See ya.